Tandem consultant, and I'm here today to talk to you about leading change, and just one aspect of leading change around sustaining the energy and investment it takes to drive a major change programs. I'm quite intrigued about the recent wave, if you'll excuse the pun, wave of interest in sustainable energy and green energy, and how we might apply that concept to organisation energy, and no better way to look at it through the lens of leading change. Leaders and their teams spend significant amount of energy, needless to say, on planning change, engaging their staff, resourcing change project teams, measuring impact, retaining talent and focus and attention on the change energy. So again, a significant amount of investment, and Tandem work with leadership teams and organisations to see how can we make sure that we get a return on that investment, that upfront investment, to see a project through to completion, a successful completion. What we do then is spend significant time with leadership teams, and well worth the time spending it as well, on the change strategy upfront. And as a critical part of that is on how to sustain the change. As we work with leaders through questions like, what really are we trying to achieve? What is that desired future? What would it take to get us there? Have we the appetite and the heart ourselves as a leadership team to drive this? And what will it be like when we get there? Those kinds of dialogues are critical, because it helps the leadership team decide and see the amount of investment it will take, and then the importance of seeing it through and seeing that change happen and sustaining the energy throughout. So we ask leaders to imagine that. How will that be? Now, in terms of sustaining change energy and change impact, there's no silver bullet. Tandem like to offer clients a range of ideas in order to achieve this. And some include the following, and not all. And I'll talk to you about where you can find information later on that. So some ideas in how to sustain change energy include, of course, the leadership team spending as much time as possible leading the change project itself, being accessible, being visible, and demonstrating the right behaviours as well. Energy dies when the leaders lose interest themselves, and behaviours might go back to old ways. Secondly, use the talent around you. Talent is energy, talent and enthusiasm. And if you can't be there all the time, make sure the next best is. So a great way to retain talent through change is to use that energy around you. Put the best delegates in place to look after that. Make sure you celebrate the change and find early wins, I guess, as Cotter would say. Early wins early on, and use them as great examples of how things are changing for the better. Measure the change. I mean, build in measures. I worked for several years with Lucent Technologies, and we transformed a very internally focused organisation on supply chain to a customer-facing, externally focused organisation by measuring and talking about measures and improving on measures. It was called the Excellence Agenda, but really was a great example of using measurement and attention around measurement to do that. Also, provide ongoing coaching and support to people particularly centrally involved in the change programme. It's a very restorative experience to spend time helping people on the front line of the change programme to reflect on what's working well and what could do better. So they're just some examples of ways to sustain energy around driving change. And again, as I said, you can find more information with us in Tandem on www.tandemconsulting.ie. Thank you for your time.